our thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Week 10 recap episode of the Gridiron Glory with Will and Tad. Here to bring you guys things about all 32 teams all season long, as we're just two hardworking fellows throughout the week, but we still find time and find ways to cover all 32 teams. So, yeah, this is our YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us. Let's get into another exciting, fun week of football, Tad. We got to start probably with the upset of the week. The New Orleans Saints, now 2-8. They go on the road and beat their divisional rivals 17-7. I mean, you had Tyler Shuck, you had Bryce Young, Tad. 17-25, one interception, 124 yards. It just seemed to me that Tyler Shuck was kind of able to find a rhythm early on, and then obviously was able to sustain it with that late game touchdown to really get things going. And the big moment that stood out to me, obviously, only 5 catches this man, but very efficient, 104 yards, and then that big touchdown. Yes, Tad, where would you rank Chris Olave amongst seasoned veteran wide receivers in the NFL?
Yeah, Chris Olave, he's been very impactful when he can be healthy. He's had quite a ride in his career. He's had a lot of injury issues the past couple of years, and now he's reminding people that he still does, in fact, have a lot to offer. Um, the one of the great receivers that Ohio State has put into the league. We talk about a lot of the other ones that get a lot of hype, but make no mistake, Chris Olave is right up there with some of the best of them.
Yeah. Make no mistake about it. Chris Olave to me is just, you never know when he can just break out, have a moment at any given point. The stat sheet could be quiet, but at just any given moment, he could still prove that he still has what it takes to be a talented receiver in the National Football League. So I just really love to see moments like that from him, and just the fact that he can still go out there and play football at the high level that he does. I don't want to say quote high level. Obviously you're on a 2-8 Saints team. You're at a kind of a weird point in career, but still, nonetheless, the 5 catches for 104 yards, a touchdown. That's awesome considering the situation. So that's incredible for Chris Olave. As far as the Panthers, just a very weird game from them. They simply weren't able to get anything clicking or going in the second half, Tad. And New Orleans just, especially on defense, Tad. Cameron Jordan, Davis, the linebacker, with the 7 tackles there. So, Tampa, the Saints on defense were just able to get after Bryce Young for most of this game and keep this Panthers offense off the field for most of it.
Yes. Yes, certainly. They did a fabulous job. With the Saints, like you never really know which version of the Saints you get. In a season like this, they're still gonna put together some performances where they compete, where they look like a team that's ready to try to win some games. Like overall, the Saints are what they are, but they come out, they've had some competitive games, in this time it really got the Carolina Panthers in a division rivalry game, like you said. So the Panthers, like you said, they need to be better. That was not a good enough performance from really anywhere on the team. Bryce Young as the leader needs to be better. Um, McMillan had a solid enough game, 5 catches for 60 yards, but you could see even a little more there. Just you need to see more out of the Carolina Panthers.
I feel like, Tad, we as NFL fans kind of have sort of this or even just football fans in general, we kind of just sort of have this emotional mantra of an attachment a little bit to Bryce Young, given the fact that he was such a star-studded athlete at Alabama. And we've obviously given him the benefit of the doubt time and time again. You're at the now you're at the professional level. You're on a rebuilding system. You're on a rebuilding team. Like so many different things that we've given him the benefit of the doubt on. Is this still yet another performance to do so on, given his stature?
I
And I
mean,
mean, even what he's just a very interesting career we followed so far with Bryce Young. And I feel like even you and me, from the time we've been really getting deep into following all 32 teams, you and me, we've followed Bryce Young's career pretty closely.
yeah, I mean, with Bryce Young, I mean, you've known for a while that what he's done has not been great at the NFL level. I mean, that's really no secret to anyone. But with that being said, I mean, he's had a better year this year. I mean, he's gone 5-4 in his 9 starts. And then they also lost the game to Buffalo that he was out. So, I mean, like I said, he needs to be better than he was tonight. That was not a good enough performance against the Saints. He just needs to come out. This is really the first year the Panthers have been truly competitive in the Bryce Young era. So now they need to find out if he's going to be the quarterback that can lead a competitive football team. Today, this week, the answer to that was no. So at this point, we just need to see if he can stack good performances together.
Yeah, but shout out to Tyler Shuck nonetheless, the 19 of 27, 2 touchdowns, 282 yards. I feel like he barely got talked about, but yeah, shout out to him. Um, so yeah, Saints 2-8 against their NFC South rivals, the Carolina Panthers. Um, yeah, and obviously this didn't really make too much of a difference in the standings. But it the NFC South, it seems that everyone took a loss except for the Saints. So the NFC South pretty much stays where it's at. Because, I mean, we had our division leaders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, at home taking on the New England Patriots, or as I like to call this game, Drake and Bake. I mean, this was the chronicles and story of you have Drake May, Baker Mayfield, aka Drake and Bake. And yeah, Drake and Bake went exactly the way I expected it to go. It was phenomenal. It was fantastic. There was big time throws. There was big time plays. There was big time runs. Even just a lot of this game just had me. I mean, on the edge of my seat. Obviously, you know you're watching this game very closely on Red Zone and everything like that. And then you know, and even if you had the ST, you know you're watching it even closer on off to the side. So, you know, yeah, 16 of 31, 2 touchdowns and an interception for Drake May, but still, nonetheless, he wills his team to find a way to win. And I mean, it got hot really late, and you know, there's talks now of Drake May even possibly being an MVP. I had Baker Mayfield. I've had him ranked number one. Even I mean, 28 of 43 for 3 touchdowns. That's incredibly amazing as well. Tad, I just feel like this win spoke slightly more to Drake May, and it's mind blowing to see the Patriots. It it looks wrong. It looks wrong that they're this good again, but somehow feels right.
Yeah, yeah, a very just very surprising situation breaking out atop the AFC, particularly in the East. I mean, I know mostly everyone would have predicted Buffalo to win the division, potentially even very handedly, and now it's the Patriots that are 2 games up in the loss column. So, I mean, they've come out and they've just played phenomenal football, a big win on the road. They did a lot of things right in this football game. They played strong football. They ran the ball very well. Travion Henderson, the rookie, had a huge game with 147 yards and the 2 touchdowns. So a very big showing there from the rookie with some of their key guys out. Ramondre Stevenson was out. So just some big performance there by New England. The run game, the offensive line, just a lot of things going well.
Yeah, and I mean, like we didn't expect like the offensive line. We know that the offensive line was obviously still somewhat, you know, has been developing and trying to rebuild themselves. But I mean, Tad, I look at this team, and we didn't expect them to necessarily be this good in the preseason.
No.
Tad, I think this speaks more volumes to anything else. I mean, we look at the players on the field and everything, and that's great, and they're doing great. But Tad, I think this speaks more to Mike Vrabel, the head coach.
Oh yeah, I mean he deserves a lot of credit. Drake May deserves a lot of credit. There's a lot of credit to go around. I mean, they've already won two more games than I would have expected them to win the entire season. I mean, in the preseason I had them as a 6-win football team, so they have severely outpaced any of my wildest expectations. And I mean, it's just getting going. We'll see how it goes throughout the season as they go down the stretch as they try to close out the division, and then we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But just an incredible start for the Patriots. A lot to be proud of.
As far, I mean, and as far as Bake, I mean, don't get me wrong, Bake baked, and he baked early on, and obviously we have our other bit going, as we like to call Egg Bake. Emeka Egbuka and Baker Mayfield link up once again. And yeah, where would you rank those two amongst quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL currently on the current season?
Yeah, I mean, I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be the offensive rookie of the year this year. He's having an incredible year, 115 yards, the touchdown. Of course, Baker, he's playing at a borderline MVP level. I think he'd probably be in like the second or maybe even the third tier of like MVP candidates, but he's definitely playing at a high level. I mean, you'd have to consider this a top, I don't know, for sure top 10 duo.
And
Like
then
safety
obviously,
top 10.
I mean, it was a really good game. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, they had to play a lot of catch up. But I mean, when you had Baker Mayfield on that other side of the scoreboard, they
Mhm.
were going to put up a fight. And yeah, obviously Tez Johnson with that big touchdown catch late in the game, and then later the 2-point conversion failed. Yeah, Tez Johnson, where do you rank him amongst players at his position? But very specifically, where do you rank him amongst NFL players that can make flips look super easy in the end zone after getting the touchdown?
Yeah, a very, very intriguing question there. Tez Johnson, I mean, he's a solid enough player, stepping up with Mike Evans out, with Chris Godwin out. So he is out there making an impact, the two touchdowns. I mean, just being a reliable target. And of course, he has some excitement in the end zone. So good deal there.
Would you rank him above or below Cam Bynum amongst touchdown celebrations, amongst dancing? You know what? I'm going to ask you that question when we get to the Colts game because something happened in that game as well. But yeah, Tez Johnson putting himself up there amongst celebration artists for sure. And he's going to need to keep that up. And yeah, in a division that's going to be, well, I thought was going to be a little bit more closely contested this season with the Atlanta Falcons. That's they take a tough loss in Berlin, Germany. Tad, the first game ever in Berlin, Germany. The Indianapolis Colts won this game 31-25. If you woke up early and caught this one on Sunday morning, boy, were you in for a treat. Some of you may or may not have been at church, even on this very podcast. But boy, this game was really good. This was easily the best game of the entire Sunday of Week 10. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, Michael Penix Jr., 12 of 28 for one touchdown, 177. Listen, to me, he passed the eye test way better than that, than the stat chart will show. So did Bijan Robinson. Drake London, even. I mean, he got an insane touchdown catch. I just remember when Drake London did catch his touchdown, I was just thinking, wow, Drake London is an incredible top talented receiver. I love week in and week out watching Drake London catch the football in the end zone. I mean, I live and work hard every week to see it. So, just some really good stuff there. Um, and obviously Jonathan Taylor. I mean, we can't get enough of Jonathan freaking Taylor, and easily the best player in fantasy, in my opinion, probably the number one ranked fantasy player this year. But yeah, easily the best running back in the NFL, the best player on this Colts franchise. And I mean, yeah, Sauce Gardner, Tad. Also, Sauce Gardner got his debut in this football game after just recently being traded from the New York Jets. So this was Sauce Gardner's first game as an Indianapolis Colt, and I was even impressed by lots of things that I saw from Sauce Gardner. Were there some moments where he missed, like when the Falcons, when Drake London did get that touchdown, that there was a linebacker that was covering him, and Sauce Gardner was kind of on the other side of the coverage. Sauce was responsible for that entire area, and and that's just going to come with things of being in a new system and everything like that. But Sauce also had some incredible moments as well, and that's not to be misconstrued or taken away from. I mean, looking at the stat chart, yeah, 6 total tackles, 4 solo. He did have a pass deflection even. Yeah, Tad. So attaining Sauce Gardner, the Jets get the 2 picks. Obviously, this was a big time move by the Indianapolis Colts. They're now 8-2. My follow up question would be, yeah, where do you rank Carly Gordon amongst owners in the NFL? And what are your thoughts and takes on her and what she's been able to bring to this Colts organization and her ownership?
Yeah, another very interesting question there. I think it's been a very strong run for the Colts. I mean, they've done a lot of things right, and I think it's very interesting that they have decided to go all in this year. I mean, that's a big decision. The entire leadership team there has decided to take what could be considered a huge risk. You give up the 2 first-round picks, and I mean, you think what you have here is a team that's good enough to win the Super Bowl. That's basically what they've just announced to the world with that trade for Gardner. Because you don't give up 2 first-round picks like that very lightly. That's a serious commitment to this year's team, to building around Sauce Gardner on the defense. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. They think they
I
can win in
mean,
the playoffs. That's what they think, and we'll see how that works out.
it's not just Sauce Gardner. I mean, you got Cam Bynum on this defensive roster. Obviously, I don't see a DeForest Buckner. Yeah, he's still hurt, right? But I mean, when he is healthy, you got him, Zaire Franklin, even Leo Latu. I mean, he's pretty solid. I mean, Jalen Jones. I mean, they got some pretty solid pieces on this Colts defense, and I mean, obviously, we know what the offense can do. I mean, this is kind of like the redemption to me, Ted. This is the redemption squad. This is a roster full of men who have endured some hardship in their careers. Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor coming back from an injury. Okay, Tyler Warren hasn't really endured hardship, but he's a rookie. Wouldn't that not be awesome for him to win the Super Bowl? And I mean, obviously, Sauce Gardner. I mean, Sauce Gardner is literally coming back from being a New York Jet at this point.
Yeah.
You have to come back from being a Jet now. You have to come back from being a Brown. You have to come back from being a Jet. So Sauce Gardner's trying to just come back from that. And he would love nothing more than to go from being a New York Jet to start the season 2 winning a Super Bowl with this squad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, don't obviously they have to. We still have a whole second half of the season to play. They are, in fact, like, make no question or doubt or mistakes. The AFC conference runs through Kansas City, Missouri. So
yeah.
that's a given. So yeah, it's kind of still one of those. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, but they're making a good case.
I
This
mean, that's what
Indianapolis
they're
Colts
doing.
squad.
That is definitely what they're doing. Like I said, they are betting on their team that, yeah, we can beat these good teams in the playoffs. We can beat a team like the Chiefs, like the Bills, like even some of the newer teams that are getting better, like Denver, like New England. I mean, teams like that. They're saying we can win in the playoffs. That's what they believe. And I mean, when you have a player like Jonathan Taylor, like Sauce Gardner, even what Jones is doing, I mean, that's possible. And I mean, I just don't think Jonathan Taylor's getting even enough credit for the crazy season he's having. He is easily leading the league in rushing touchdowns by a wide margin as well. 244 yards, 3 touchdowns. If I had an MVP vote at this point in the season, I'd probably vote for Jonathan Taylor. That's just how crazy he's been this year. I mean, and
I
I
gotta
know it's basically turned into a quarterback's award, but if I had a vote, I'd look that way.
Well, currently on the betting odds for MVP, he's number 4 right now
Yeah.
on the betting odds behind 3 different quarterbacks. So
Mhm.
just the fact that he's in the top 5 of the ESPN betting odds
Yeah.
to win the MVP, he's the odds-on favorite to win Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh yeah, pretty easily. He's
Um,
got that locked up. I'd say that's locked up if he stays healthy.
yeah, I mean, the MVP really truly is just like the best quarterback. It's
Yeah,
literally
that's what
like,
it's turned
and
into.
you have to be an insane non-quarterback to even have a fighting chance to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been years, the last 2 years, where like McCaffrey and like Saquon last year, I mean, they should have gotten a lot more talk. But like you said, it's a quarterback award. That's just what it is.
They should just change it to the best quarterback award
Yeah.
because like everybody because like you can literally have I don't know it just football is an interesting dynamic in that sense.
Yeah.
Because like it's almost like how do you compare a running back to a quarterback or a linebacker to a wide receiver? It's just they're all great in so many different aspects, but how can you measure it? And I guess what the people really care about the most is the quarterback. So I mean that just
Yeah.
will get proven time and time again. Um, but yeah. Anyways, this Colts team is good. They're gonna keep fighting. They're gonna keep grinding. So I mean, and they need it with teams like we talked about the Patriots. Teams like I mean, obviously we mentioned the Chiefs, but teams like the Bills who just lost another game to their AFC East divisional rivals, the Miami Dolphins. And I mean, yeah, the Dolphins in this football game, Tad. I mean, it was 16-0 at halftime. The Bills didn't get anything going at all until the fourth quarter. I mean, I was just purely impressed. The Dolphins put on a show for their home fans. And I mean, this is one of those things. I mean, the Bills easily consider the Dolphins a quote unquote pesky rival. So this is a case of them doing exactly that. The Dolphins were not supposed to win this game, but yet they were a pesky rival to the Bills and just tons of peskiness in this game. I mean, yeah, Tua Tagovailoa, who at one point or a couple turned into Tua turned the ball over. Yeah, 15 to 21, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Tua just, I don't know. What's your take on Tua Tagovailoa in the 3-7 record right now? And he is
I
staying
mean,
healthy.
there's just no way around it. This was the most surprising game of the week by far. Um, in my eyes. I was absolutely stunned that the Bills, I mean, with everything they have in front of them with the Patriots kind of taking a bit of a lead in the division, that they just come out here and they really don't wake up at all until the fourth quarter. I mean, they give up the 2 touchdowns on early in the game. The offense, they just don't move the ball hardly at all. They get stopped on downs, a lot of punts, some turnovers. I mean, they turned the ball over 3 times. I mean, you're looking at the team that's turning the ball over. It was Buffalo in this game. I mean, Miami had their fair share of turnovers as well. I mean, Tua wasn't perfect, but Buffalo really made no conceivable charge to get back into the game until it was well too late. I mean, this was a very rough performance from Buffalo, and they need to get a lot of things together if they want to make a run back at to overtake New England in the division.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt about that, man. I mean, you probably gave a way better spinach on that than I did. I mean, yeah, just all things Miami. I mean, Buffalo is human. Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills are in fact human. I mean, they're not. We thought Josh Allen was Superman. We thought that they all just had like we're just not of this earth, of this world at one point. But I mean, no, they are in fact human beings and can't win them all, even the Bills. So just another case of that. Um, yeah, so Miami 3-7 now, and crazily enough, their AFC East rivals, the New York Jets, right behind them. And boy, did we ever have a crazy showdown in what we considered the quote unquote toilet bowl of the week. The Jets and the Browns. Jets haven't won a road game. Dylan Gabriel, though, 17-32, 2 touchdowns. I'd say fairly mediocre, to be honest. But Justin Fields, I mean, 6 of 11 of 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But you have this amazing running back, Brees Hall. And where do you rank him?
I mean, Bruce Hall, he's doing all he can for a team. I mean, with the record that they have, he's doing what he can to compete, especially with the backup out. Braylon Allen hasn't played for a while, I don't believe. So a big effort there by Bruce Hall. I mean, you get the kickoff return by Kenneth Wongwu as well. So just some big plays there. And I mean, the Jets, I mean, they play a very interesting style of football. Basically, no downfield passing game whatsoever. They only threw 11 passes for 54 yards total in this game. So I mean, and 42 of the receiving yards were from Brees Hall. So like outside of Brees Hall, the receivers for the Jets, I should say, had a total of 12 yards outside of Brees Hall. I mean, that's got to be one of the craziest stat lines I've ever seen for a winning football team in the NFL. So just very much unconventional, but it led to a win in this case. So take that for what it is.
I mean, a win in the NFL is a win in the NFL, and they find a way to do exactly that. I mean, it's obviously you're not playing for playoff contention or anything at this point. I mean, you just traded away your franchise player, so I don't know if
Mm.
Brees Hall is the next to go. I don't know if the Jets are just gonna scrap their whole team and start all over again. I don't know what their plan is exactly. I mean, we talked about cognitive plans with the Giants. They seem to kind of have one now with Jackson Dart, but now the Jets, it's just I don't think Justin Fields is your guy. I don't
Oh no.
think Brees Hall sticks around. I mean, yeah, you got the win and everything today, but and I mean a big part of like why it was so. I mean, Myles Garrett only got the 1 sack. Carson Schlesinger is actually a very underrated linebacker in the league, in my opinion.
For
But yeah,
sure. I
this
mean,
just wasn't like this was just a
um,
very weird. Like there was exciting moments and plays, but it just the stat chart won't tell you that.
yeah, Carson Schlesinger is a beast, and he is at this point. I checked earlier this week, and he was the odds-on favorite to be the defensive rookie of the year as well. So he's having an incredible year. He's inched ahead of guys like Jahad Campbell for the Eagles, Abdul Carter for the Giants. But so yeah, I mean, there's some pieces on this Cleveland defense. I mean, they have a decent enough defense. Obviously, Garrett, Swessinger, Mason Graham is a solid young defender as well. So I mean, there's some pieces, but the Browns, there's a lot that they have to figure out, especially on offense. I mean, just it's not what it needs to be.
Yeah, definitely not what it needs to be. Both of these franchises, really. I mean,
Hmm.
these very much are two basement franchises right now in the NFL, sadly, and just I don't know, not the craziest game to follow or be entertained by necessarily, but yeah, Browns are 2-7, Jets are now 2-7. Uh, so yeah, moving along here. Yeah, yeah. So speaking of the AFC North and the Browns, there's a rival of them that got a victory. If you wanted to speak a little on that, Tad.
Um, well, looking around, I am only seeing one AFC North team that won this weekend, so I'm supposing you're talking about the game that took place in Minnesota this weekend, with the Ravens coming out on top 27-19 in a very interesting football game. That was, like I said, this was a strange football game from start to finish. The Ravens, I mean, they got down the field a lot. Um, they ended up kicking field goals very often, 4 out of 5 on field goals for Tyler Loop, and they needed those field goals to go. So that was a strong performance there. Lamar is back and he's healthy and he's doing what he can to lead the Ravens back to prominence in the division, and that he has certainly done. They've now won 3 games in a row. After 1-5, they go to 4-5 on the year. It's very nice to see Lamar out there again. 17 of 29, 176, a touchdown, also 36 rushing yards. So he did his thing. Maybe be a little more efficient in the red zone, convert those field goals into touchdown. Maybe the Ravens would like to see that. But all in all, you got your leader back, you're winning games. Derrick Henry's moving the ball 75 yards in this game. Mark Andrews had a touchdown. Zay Flowers had 75 yards. So their offense did very well. Their defense forced 2 interceptions on Malachi Starks. The rookie got his second of the season, and Marlon Humphrey got an interception as well. And he's had many interceptions throughout his career. So just a lot of young players doing their job, veterans doing their job. The Ravens, they're healthy and they're not a team you want to see right now. This is a very good football team. Don't let the losing record dissuade you. They will be a team that is a factor down the stretch. And at this point, I'd be surprised if they don't end up tracking down Pittsburgh in the division. I think at this point, they should be the favorites to win the AFC North, in my opinion.
I mean, a lot of football left to be played. There is a possible X factor of Joe Burrow coming back for the Bengals too on Thanksgiving Day that will be getting played against the Ravens. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I mean, it'll
Yes,
be interesting.
we will definitely see how the Burrow factor pans out. But if their defense is going to give up like 40 to 50 points a game, then like I said last week, I think they could have prime Tom Brady and it might not matter too much. But
This just came
overall,
in.
we'll figure it out.
Apparently, the Cincinnati Bengals did give up, let's see, about 63 points to the bye week.
Mm,
Yeah, Tad, they lost 61-63 to the bye week this week. I'm kidding.
I mean, I would not be surprised. I mean, they can get you can put a team of like NFL free agents together on offense, and I would not be surprised that they drop 60 on the Bengals. But that's just where they are.
But I'm also not surprised that the Bengals put up 60.
Yeah, yeah, it's it's a vibe. The Bengals are a vibe, but yeah. So big win for the Ravens. Humbling loss for Minnesota. Like I said, the fourth career start for JJ McCarthy, 20 of 42, 248, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Just a strange game for the Vikings offense. They could not make the plays down the field that you would expect. Justin Jefferson had a very odd game. We consider him one of the best wide receivers in football, but unfortunately, he did not play like it in this football game. 4 receptions on 12 targets, 37 yards, long of 11.
Yeah,
And
fantasy owners of him would have liked to have seen a lot more.
yep, and he's a better player than he played, and I have no doubt that Justin Jefferson will bounce back, but like just some effort plays that you just need to see your leader make happen. He was targeted on I believe it was the Humphrey interception he was targeted on, and he could have made a better play towards the ball. That did not happen. everyone's gonna have an off day, and Jefferson's entitled to some of them, but he's gonna be better than that. I'm sure he's very disappointed with how his game looked, and we know he'll be better than that moving forward.
Yeah, I mean it is the NFL, and I mean the Ravens. I mean they're a resilient football team. I mean Lamar Jackson, he's a resilient guy. He's a resilient quarterback. So is Derrick Henry. I mean this. I mean, unfortunately, your Vikings just caught the resiliency of the Ravens, and I mean that's just going to happen in the NFL as the brutal, grindy season goes along. So I don't think the Vikings should hang their heads after this game necessarily. It was tough, but you got to put one foot in front of the other. And next week you play huge game for the Vikings next week as they take on
Yeah.
their divisional rivals, the Chicago Bears, which I know that that's going to be a vibe in our fantasy chat already for sure. I'm sure it
Oh
always
yeah.
is. So huge game, Tad, in that regard. So don't hang your head if you're the Vikings at all. You're on to Chicago, quite literally.
Oh yeah. On to Chicago. JJ McCarthy, he's 2-0 against the division, 2-0 in the NFC North, and I will say that's more wins than Caleb Williams has had in the NFC North in the past 2 seasons combined. So we'll see how how that one goes.
But Caleb Williams does get a victory in the NFC against the New York
Hmm.
Giants, 24-20 today. And he did throw for 20 of 36, a touchdown. Jackson Dart does go down in this game with a concussion. He did go out in this football game. Russell Wilson did come in and play some backup time. Yeah, Tyrone Tracy Jr., the 14 carries for 71 yards there as well. But Tad, more honestly, the stat chart doesn't show this, but the 13 carries for 80 yards. DeAndre Swift is one of the more underrated running backs in the league, in my opinion. Just some of the breakout runs that he was able to have. I truly felt like it kind of made a difference. And then obviously the Odunze touchdown. Um, Obviously, Caleb Williams is a big pivotal piece in the 6-3 record, but I mean, it's almost kind of like, you got some big time playmakers on this offense: Williams, Swift, Odunze. I mean, some fans of the Bears may or may not say that they're quote unquote back. And I mean, I know that you're a Vikings fan and it's tough for you to like relevate this, but what's the secret behind this 6-3 record in your opinion?
I mean, there is a lot of credit to finding out how to win football games in the NFL. Like, there is no such thing in the NFL as a bad win. All wins are good wins in the NFL. But it's been a particular grind for the Chicago Bears to find a way to win the last 2 games. Obviously, we know what happened last week against the Bengals when Joe Flacco threw for 470 yards and then they give up that touchdown at the end to the Bears. And then this week, I mean, the Giants were in control for the majority of this game. We saw that go down, and then Jackson gets hurt, and things kind of turn around. He had the 2 touchdown runs, the 66 yards rushing, 242 passing. I mean, it's not to say that the Bears couldn't have found a way to come back, even if he was healthy. I mean, this is a resilient football team. There's no question about that. They deserve a lot of credit for turning themselves into a winning team, seeing where they are. Yeah, this is a better football team than the Bears have had for quite some time, probably at least 2018. I mean, obviously that team had Mitch Trubisky at quarterback, and had one of the best defenses in the league. This team is a little bit different, but they have a lot of things working in their favor. Caleb Williams is a very interesting quarterback. He makes some throws that look really good, and then he makes some plays that just have you scratching your head. Like you'll see that with a lot of young quarterbacks. I mean, that's not particularly uncommon, I suppose, but he's kind of a head scratching player at sometimes, but he's found a way to win these 2 games, and that's huge. I mean, Kyle Monangai, the rookie running back, he's been huge. Odunze's touchdown. Colston Loveland had a solid game. Luther Burden, when he gets an opportunity, he's a playmaker. He's a very young receiver, their first round draft pick. I think they've drafted well. They've been better in free agency. I think that the leadership in the Bears deserve a lot of credit for to this point turning the culture around a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed that spot on with the Chicago Bears. As far as the New York Giants, it's you know, you kind of feel like they had their glory moment on that Thursday night football game against the Eagles, and that was quite literally when Scattaboo and Ryan Fitzpatrick bumped chests with their shirts off. I literally feel like that was the peak of the Giants season because has not been too too great outside of that moment.
I mean, the Giants have just had some of the weirdest losses in the league. I mean, there are at least three, maybe four games that there's just no way they should have lost. I mean, the Cowboys game that they let slip away in overtime, the Denver game where they gave up what about 30 points in the fourth quarter, the um obviously this game where they had the 10-point lead. Just you feel like things could be very different. Like, I mean, the Bears, the Giants, they don't look as bad as a typical 2-8 football team. I mean, I think they're a little better than their record. They're obviously not like playoff good. They're not like contender good, but the Giants are a team that it seems to me that they fight pretty much every week.
Yeah, I mean, and you love to see it, absolutely. The Bears, this was a really good win for them, getting becoming 6-3, because their NFC North counterpart, the Packers, ended up losing to the Philadelphia Eagles 10-7, and this was a very weird football game on Monday Night Football. Philly wins 10-7 over Green Bay, and just like really, really simply how um, obviously nothing really got going until like the fourth quarter, but
Mhm.
obviously the thing that stood out to me was Devontae Smith, the 4 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown, and that touchdown was absolutely huge. And I mean, he had some other big plays and some big moments. Yeah, what was your take on Devontae Smith in this game? And I mean, Saquon Barkley too. Even Saquon Barkley, the 22 carries for 60 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, but he did have an insane spin move play where he like
Yeah,
spun off the tackle and then he broke out for another like 40, 50 yards, which was really cool to see. So
yeah. A very strange game. I mean, just no scoring in the first half. I mean, it was a very weird Monday night football game. And you know what they say, the old saying, like if nobody's scoring on a Monday night football and nobody can watch it, then did it even happen? I mean, and of course, like we're obviously still ongoing with the Disney versus Google stuff with YouTube TV. So a lot of people didn't even get to see this game. Of course, we keep up on all the highlights, so we still know what's going on. This was an odd football game. Just really hard to take a lot away. The Eagles, they find a way to win, despite having some of the worst play calling late in the game that I've ever seen. I mean, they refuse to run the clock out late in the game. They go for it on fourth down late in the game up by 3 points and turn the ball over on downs. But the Packers, they can't take advantage. They missed the field goal. It was a long one, 64 yards, so that would have been a tough one to make. But the Eagles, they're the resilient team. They find a way to hang on. It was a real slog of a game, but again, like we said, any win in the NFL, any way you can get it. I mean, this could be a huge win for the Eagles for seeding, for the race for the 1 seed, maybe the race for home field, stuff like that. It's a big deal to win a game like this. And like you said with the Packers, I mean, now they've fallen behind Chicago in the division. They've fallen behind Detroit in the division. So just it's going to be a dogfight in the NFC North. I mean, the NFC North, it's very much competitive. So a big loss for them.
yeah, a big loss for them indeed. So It's just and a big loss for so many NFL fans, Tad. Just yeah, I mean you hit it right on the head. Just I mean that's the biggest loss. Is like it's not even like the Packers. It's really the NFL fans because it's just yeah we don't even need to get into that. But yeah, the Eagles like this was a big win for them to keep up in the NFC. 7-2 now.
Mhm.
Uh, and I mean, they're going to absolutely need it. I mean, they need everything they can get, but Philly, just keeping things moving. We'll stay in the NFC. We'll go Detroit, Washington. Lions beat the Commanders 44-32 today. Um, yeah, the late afternoon window was not super hot or exciting too much, but yeah, 25 of 33, 3 touchdowns for Jared Goff. Jameson Williams did get a touchdown for 119 yards. This was a clinical performance by the Detroit Lions, and just Marcus Mariota not really able to get a whole lot going. I mean, most of what the Commanders had going wasn't until garbage time. So just Lions cruised for this football game, and yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, uh, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs again. So just, I mean, I don't know. Did you have any takes on Lions Commanders?
I mean, the Lions were very unhappy with how they looked a week ago against Minnesota. They were not happy with how that game went. They felt like they left a lot on the table, and they took out their aggression on an injured Washington team. Obviously, you don't have Jaden Daniels. You have a lot of injuries on defense, and they were definitely not fully constituted. This looked nothing like the Washington team that beat Detroit in the playoffs a season ago. So kind of like to an extent, you could say it was a revenge game, but it doesn't really feel like as gratifying just considering the current state of Washington. I mean, they've been one of the more injured teams this year. They're one of the more disappointing teams record wise. But I mean, you just can. I mean, like I said, you don't really want to like make excuses, but it's an explanation that they are not where they want to be, and a lot of the reason is that they are not as healthy as they need to be.
For sure. And I mean, they're just gonna have to ride that storm out and weather that out right now. Unfortunately for them. Another game that was kind of like that: Seattle versus Arizona. Seattle 44, Arizona 22. Fantasy owners of Jacoby Brissett. Listen, if you're a fantasy owner of Jacoby Brissett like myself, you were on the edge of your seat up until the very end. 22 of 42, 2 touchdowns. Wasn't enough to give you the win in fantasy. But I was watching him pretty closely, and I mean, yeah, Trey McBride, nine catches for a touchdown. Fantasy owners of him were probably sweating that out too. But yeah, Zach, I want to talk real quick about Zach Charbonnet. I mean, we talk about Sam Darnold all the time. We talk about Jackson Smith and Jigba all the time. But yeah, just give me a quick hot take on Zach Charbonnet because I think he's a pretty damn good running back.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle has a very good running back room. You got Charbonnet 14 for 83 and a touchdown. You got Kenneth Walker 14 carries for 67 yards. A very strong showing there. Even George Halani, the third string, 7 for 31 and a touchdown. This was just a dominant performance from start to finish for Seattle. They only have to throw 12 passes the entire game. Najigba has another touchdown. Just a ho-hum performance from a team that, to me, kind of surprisingly looks like one of the better teams in the NFC as a whole. I mean, it's been, I mean, and I will say they play in a very tough division. I think that the Rams are the best team in that division, but Seattle, I mean, make no mistake, they are trying to stake their claim as to be a very competitive team. It's going to be fun to watch down the stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun to watch down the stretch for sure. Yeah, what was the other late afternoon game? Yeah, Rams and 49ers. Yeah, 42 to 26. So the late afternoon window games were all pretty much the same vibe. But yeah, Matty Stafford, 24-36, 4 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, 14 carries for 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams get involved. Yeah, this was a really good win for the Rams, and I mean, they're following our take of being the best team in the division and to win it. And this was exactly the kind of win that perceived that case.
Hmm. Oh yeah. I I think I might have a bit of a hot take here. I think if the Rams can keep Matthew Stafford upright, if they can keep him healthy in his advanced stage of his career, with the way he's playing football, I think the Rams are going to win not only the NFC West, I think the Rams are going to win the entire NFC with how they're playing. I think this is early on, like halfway through the season. I think this might be the team I pick to go to the Super Bowl representing the NFC. They have looked that good. I think this is a very strong football team. They are figuring out the running game. Kyron Williams had the 2 touchdowns. We know what he can do. Blake Corum had a strong game as well with 56 yards. I think this is a good football team out on the West Coast.
That is certainly a hot take. Um, yeah, a very interesting take. I mean, I would have to pretty much agree. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say the NFC runs through Philly, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily. I mean, it's still pretty much up for grabs.
Mhm.
They could, yeah, they very. I mean, they're making their case, Dad. They're making their case.
I
Yep.
mean, Matty Stafford is playing some of the best football of his career this year. I mean, the last several weeks, I mean, he's been incredible. He hasn't thrown an interception for a couple months or so. I mean, just racking up the touchdowns. I mean, if he keeps playing like this, then we could be talking about him with the MVP candidates. I mean, the way he's playing.
Oh, absolutely. And then, yeah, I'd have to agree with that for sure. And then in the late Sunday night game, we had the Chargers beating the Steelers 25-10. The Steelers show up on national TV and crap their pants. I'm gonna say that because I mean the charge. This was all about the Chargers, and the Steelers did nothing. I mean, 16-31, 161 yards, 2 picks for Mister Rogers. I mean, he got sacked 3 times. I mean, this game, Tad, was all about the Chargers and not the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No,
And you
certainly
know,
not.
this is just like one of those scenarios and cases where it's like the Steelers have their moments that are really good, and then they have their moments that are like this, and then you just think as an NFL fan, another 9-8 season probably from the Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Steelers, I think we all kind of just know what the Steelers are at this point. They're the same team they've been for the past decade or so since the Roethlisberger, Bell Brown era. I mean, that was probably the peak they've had for a while. Um, and they've just been chasing that ever since. I mean, this is a very average football team. They'll probably find a way to make the playoffs or maybe be one of the first teams out. They'll be like around, like you said, 9-8, maybe even get to 10-7 if things go well. Um, but yeah, like I said, I think that Baltimore is going to be the odds-on favorite to win this division. I trust that they'll come back, that Pittsburgh will stay around where they are. But with that being said, a lot of credit needs to go on the other side of the Chargers. They played an exceptional football game um, on Sunday night, the big stage. I mean, I questioned how things would go for them losing Joe Alt and being down both of their tackles for the season. And I mean, they, for the most part, had held up fairly strong. I mean, they did give up the 5 sacks, so not super ideal there, but you get 95 rushing yards out of Adele. You get 19 rushing yards out of Herbert. I mean, I would have expected a bit bigger of a game from the Pittsburgh run defense against the Chargers O line. I think that was a disappointing effort by the Pittsburgh run defense and a very strong effort by the rushing offense for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much have to agree with that. we know what the Steelers are. We know what brand they like. I'd hate to say it, Tad. I love Mike Tomlin. I love who he is, and I
Mhm.
love his leadership, and I love him as a coach. But I don't feel like that mantra is going to change until
Mhm.
there's a whole different coach, like way in the future. I don't know.
It's just such a weird spot for Pittsburgh to be in because you can't really justifiably move on from him. He's won you Super Bowls. He's always competitive. He's like, by all accounts, he's, I don't know, like a
He's
leader.
everything that you want out of an NFL head coach.
But I do agree with your take that at this point, Mike Tomlin's not going to be the one that leads the Steelers back to taking the next step. I don't think that they're going to make any playoff runs until there's significant changes. And I mean, if
Well,
they're okay with just being where they are, that's fine. But I don't
I
think they're
mean,
going to
they're
make
kind
a
of
run.
all in. I mean, they're kind of like we said in the preseason. I mean, they're kind of on the deal right now where they're all in this year. Like they want to be all in this year. But then you have games like this on national primetime television where
Mhm.
you say that you don't want to be all in. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the roster, you had the motives in the preseason to be like all in, like, hey, we're gonna win the Super Bowl, this and that. But now Aaron Rodgers on national TV, 16 to 31, 161 yards, the two. You know what I'm saying? It's just like uh this is it. Like this is like you feel
Mhm.
like this is the quote unquote last dance for Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, and it's just five
And
and
I mean,
four. I don't know. I mean, there's
I
still a
feel
lot of
like
listen. Like there's still a lot of season left to be played, but I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you still got the Ravens. Don't count
right.
out the Cincinnati Bengals yet either.
Yeah, they still have two games against the Ravens, that game against the Steelers again. I mean, everything's in front of them, but like you said, can you trust them to win those big games? I cannot. I mean, I just don't think they're the team that's going to pull through. I mean, like you say, it feels like basically the last ride for Rodgers. In retrospect, it was kind of a last real ride for Russell Wilson last year, and I mean, it's just like coming up with the same results. That this is a team that's solid. They do some things well, but they're just not good enough to get over that proverbial hump and make a real run. I mean, that's how I see the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, not good enough to make a real run, even if they do a lot of things well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, until proven otherwise, but we'll see. Yeah, Houston versus Jacksonville. Texans. I mean, you said the season has just began, and it just began once again. I mean, this was a massive, huge win against their AFC South rival, 36 to 29. And I mean, Davis Mills, right, 27 to 45, two touchdowns and an interception. I mean, Jacksonville was looking really strong in the second half, but then you had 26 unanswered points by the Houston Texans in the fourth quarter. Like just any given Sunday, anything can happen. Like backup quarterback Davis Mills pulling off this win.
Yeah, I mean, I still have no real idea how they won this football game. I am just very much bewildered that Jacksonville let that one happen. Jacksonville is such a strange football team to me. But yeah, this was one. Houston, they needed to find a way to win this game. If they wanted to have any chance of making any sort of a run this year, this was one they had to have. And it looked like through three quarters of football, it looked like they were going to have no chance whatsoever. But then they go touchdown, three plays and out, touchdown, three plays and out, touchdown, fumble by Jacksonville to ultimately secure the victory. Just incredible resilience by Houston. This is a team, they were 3-5. They absolutely had to have this one, and they find a way to get the job done. They do.
I mean, the season's far from over for the Texans, and I mean, like it's kind of like they're kind of the same vibe as like the Ravens. I mean, don't let the 4-5 record fool you. I mean, the Tex. I mean, I would still put money on the Texans to win the AFC South,
Over the
especially
Colts.
after a win like this.
Over the
Yeah,
Colts.
well, oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. I forget that they're in the. It's always so weird. It's when I think of Indianapolis, Indiana, I don't think South, and I always think that to myself. It's just always been so weird that they're in the South Division when they're not a Southern team necessarily. But yeah, yeah, they are in that division too. I
And they're
mean,
what?
don't
Three
listen. The Texans
losses
can still make
behind
a
the Colts.
case. The Texans can still make a case and a run for a potential playoff spot.
And I don't believe they have played the Colts yet this year, if I'm mistaken. No, they still have two games against the Colts. So I mean, you find a way to steal those two games. I mean, it's not entirely over. I mean, they have some other difficult games. They play Buffalo, they play at Kansas City. And they play at home against the Chargers. I think it's still going to be a massive uphill climb for the Texans to make the playoffs, but and I mean, I will say, I mean, I get that it's a similar vibe to Baltimore. I don't think this Texans roster is anywhere close to Baltimore talent-wise, personally. They have some players, like their defensive line is very good. I still think it's one of the best in the league. Danielle Hunter, 3.5 sacks today. We know what Will Anderson can do, but outside of that, I just don't know if I can trust this team to make a run, especially we don't know for sure when CJ Stroud is coming back, do we? I mean, I have not heard any intel on that. I have a
Me
hard time
neither.
trusting the Texans, but yeah, I mean that they have a lot of things in front of them, so they have a chance and they kept themselves for all intents and purposes alive in this football game.
Yeah, they certainly did. Real quick, Broncos Raiders. This was an absolutely horrible game, but the Broncos win it somehow. Yeah, Bo Nix, 16 to 28, one touchdowns, two interceptions. Geno Smith, 16 from 26, a touchdown. A touchdown for Ashton Genty. I mean, the Broncos 8-2, 5-0 at home. They play the Chiefs next week. I mean, that's just kind of what the Broncos are on. They play the Chiefs next week. Good for them that they get this ugly win.
Mhm.
Because
I mean,
it was just a horrible game. I mean, this was a horrible game to watch. I mean, it truly was. And I mean, I'm happy that like obviously I'm a Denver fan and everything, and they won. But God, this was a horrendous game.
yeah, it was really one of the strangest games of the year, but I mean, there is some credit to winning ugly games. I mean, like I said, I've said it a couple times today. There's no such thing as a bad win in the National Football League, especially in a rivalry game like this one. Denver, they find a way to win. They keep the momentum, with the Chargers closing in with the Chiefs kind of trying to figure some things out. I mean, it's gonna be a divisional race for the ages. We got 8-2 for Denver, I believe 7-3 I saw for the Chargers, and then the Chiefs kind of just hanging in back there a bit. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean the Raiders, they put up a good fight. I mean, a team, they're 2-7. They're
I mean,
not a great football team, but they did what they could. Kai Blue Kelly, two interceptions, big plays there.
Nick Benito, Jedi Barron, John Franklin Myers, Jonathan Cooper. I mean, this Denver defense is absolutely freaking stacked. I mean, Talona Hufanga. I mean, the Denver defense, I mean, was amazing in this game. Don't get me wrong, but just a
Mhm.
very weird game. But yeah, Broncos 8-2. They play the Chiefs next week, 5-4.
Mhm.
Yeah, Raiders dropped to 2-7. Hey, folks. Yes. Did you have any?
And I do also want to give some credit to Riley Moss for manning the
Yes.
defensive backfield, especially with Surtain still out. Hopefully he can get back soon, but a lot of credit there for the rest of them to sort of just hold down the fort until he comes back.
Yes. Yes, sir. Hey, folks, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow the Gridiron Glory. This was the Week 10 episode. Follow our channel. Give us your takes. Give us your comments. Follow us for our rankings. And yes, thank you for watching.